Hey folks, this video is going to show you how to put your text for the MentorCraft analysis into the website database so that everybody can have access to it. First, before you watch the video, you've got to have your mentor text all ready to go. It needs to be in digital form. It needs to have the annotations all ready. It needs to be basically at the last stage where you're ready to put it into the database on the website itself. All that other stuff needs to be done before. So the first thing you need to do is go to the website itself. Now this is mentors.johnaustinson.com. You can follow the link from the class website and you'll be able to get here to this site. You should have received an email that has your account information, and I've given you instructions about that in class. What you need to do once you get to the website is go here, scroll down a little bit until you see the admin tab or the admin sidebar, and click on login. Here you're going to use the username and password that we talked about in class that you got in that email, and you're going to log into the website. Once you've logged into the website, you'll be pulled into the dashboard. Now, if you've used WordPress before, this will look very familiar to you, but if you haven't, it's no big deal. Don't worry about it. To add your content, you want to go here to the Posts menu, get the list of all the posts, add a new post up here, and do a couple of things. The first thing you're going to do is put the title of the piece that your excerpt comes from. If you're using the whole excerpt, or if you're using the whole piece, great. If it's just an excerpt, it doesn't really matter. Okay, but you want to put the title and the author here so that we have that information for people to use. Now, I'm using the text that we have probably talked about in class called In the Company of Truckers. So there's my title, and I've got the author's name. Let me pull that up here. This is Rachel Kushner. Okay, that goes in my title. All right. Then you're going to copy and paste the text for your excerpt. Now again, you should have this already prepared, maybe in a separate document, or you can pull it off of the web, whatever the case might be. You're going to have this. You're going to pull this from the document that you have there, and you're going to paste it into this box where we would edit our post. If your document resides on the web somewhere and you can link to the web page that has your whole source, your original source, it'd be really helpful to add that in here at the bottom of the text that you just pasted. So to do that, notice what I've done here at the bottom. I just added some text with square brackets to say, here's a link to the original source. Go to your original source page. Here's mine from the New York Times Magazine. Copy that link. Come back here. Double click this text. Go up here to your toolbar. We're going to insert a link. It'll pop up right here below my text. I'm going to paste in that link. Hit the apply button. Boom. I've got my source linked there. That's nice for those who come to the site and would like to see the whole piece. If you're working off of a print text originally or something like that, that's okay. You don't have to provide a source link to that if there's not one for the web. Now that I've got my text in this new post, I can go ahead and add my annotations. This is very simple. We're going to do these by means of footnotes, and we'll create footnotes that visitors to the site can click and pull up on top of the text. Very, very easy way to do this. Here's how you do it. To add a footnote where you want to embed your annotation, you simply position your mouse cursor where you want that footnote to go, where you want that annotation to go, and you create a shortcode. Now this shortcode consists of 2 square bracketed commands, with one being just footnote, and the other one being /footnote. This opens the footnote and closes the footnote. So once I've done that, I can, in the middle here, type all the text or copy and paste it from a separate document to add my footnote right there where I want the annotation to go. So I'm going to add the text to my annotation right now between those 2 shortcodes. Okay, you can see here now that I have added my annotation between the 2 shortcodes for footnotes. I don't need to do anything else. I can go through now and finish adding all the footnotes and annotations that I've created according to the expectations for the assignment. Once I've finished with this, and let me suggest that you come over here and save your draft quite frequently. You're going to spend some time probably putting these footnotes in and all these annotations. You don't want them to get lost on you because your browser crashes or something like that. Now, after you've got all these annotations in, it's time to give the category and the tags to this piece that will help us search for your specific techniques or this kind of writing in the database itself, on the site itself. To do this, I'm going to come over to the right-hand side of the screen, and I'm going to give some category labels to this piece of text based on the genre it falls under. Now, I can add more than one, and I'd recommend that you do. So, for instance, if you have a horror piece, it should be both fiction and horror. If it comes from a classic text, like some kind of canonical text, then you could add that category as well. But don't add too many categories, or else then the search feature doesn't help us limit the different options that are here in the database. Mine is a nonfiction piece, and I think it could fall under creative nonfiction. It might also fall under memoir. So I'm going to add those categories again here on the right-hand side. Now, I'm going to ask that you not create new categories, but if you think there's a new category that I've missed, and that's very possible, let me know. I'll think about it. We'll make sure it doesn't overlap with something we already have, and then I will create that category and you can use it. Once I've identified the category and the genre, it's time to think about tagging this piece. And we're going to use tags to describe all the grammatical and syntactic techniques that I use. And again, you've got a list of the tags that I've already created. We can create more, but I'm going to ask you to not create those tags yourself, but rather talk with me first. Let's make sure we're not overlapping with a tag that already exists. So I've only got one annotation in here. You'll have many more, but I want a tag based on that annotation. So you'll notice one of the things that I annotated was a participle. So if I start typing participle, the suggested tag will show up here, and I can click on that and it will add that tag. All right. I also talk about openers in this, and you can see again that a suggested tag will pop up. I also talk about a closer, and that tag will show up. Now, I've also talked about a prepositional phrase, and interestingly enough, I don't have a tag for prepositional phrase yet, which seems to be kind of a pretty serious oversight on my part, right? Like I should have thought of that. Again, talk to me. We'll create that tag, and you can use that tag in your piece after I've created it. Please, again, don't add the tags yourself. That's what I'm doing right now. Please don't do that. We'll talk about creating those tags. Once I've got those tags, I'll add them. And you can add as you go along, right? You don't have to add these all at once if you don't want to. But it's important that you add these tags based on your annotations, so that we are comprehensive in all of this, but also we want to be able to make sure that these will be searchable. Once I have put all this together, then I'm ready to publish my post. And you go over here, publish. Okay, it'll actually now be on the website. I can go back out here. If I click this home link, I'll be able to see in the company of truckers. You can see that my annotation is right here when I click on the little footnote. Don't worry about numbering or anything like that. All of that's taken care of as you create the footnotes. So that's basically it. If I'm not happy with this, if there's stuff I want to change, then hey, it's easy to come over here and edit and make some changes. I can add more tags, I can change the categories, do all those kinds of things to help future visitors to the site get the most out of it. Now, one last thing that I'm going to ask you to do with all of these is to disable the comments. We don't really want people commenting on these. We want it to be more of a static database. So if you'll go over here as you're editing your post to the screen options, you can check these two boxes for discussion and comments. All right, and then they will pop up down here toward the bottom. And let's go ahead and clear the check by this allow comments so that there's no commenting allowed on here. We can allow trackbacks and pingbacks. That's fine if people want to do that. But make sure that you go here anytime you make any changes. If you edit or make some changes, you've got to make sure that you hit the update button, or else they may not get updated. All right? So that's basically it. That's what we do to bring these mentor texts to our site. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Hope this has been helpful.